Alrighty. Welcome to Romera Records virtual cast. Today we have on.
Kawika Henderson.
What's going on, man?
Man, just chilling. I'm so glad it's Friday.
Absolutely. So I have been really wanting to get you on because I've been following your stuff for a long time. I've been watching you do your powerlifting and all the competitions that you've been in and seeing you do CrossFit, and it's been wild. Seeing you, sorry to bring up a bad memory, but your injury, the crazy bicep injury, that was wild. I guess we can start off by how did that go?
Within the last couple of years, I had a few injuries. I had a bicep rupture and I had a double elbow replacement. So I've been through some things, and I'm living, learning, and being able to teach people how to come back from them. Before I had a bicep rupture, way back, I'd say this was 2016, something like that. Um, we just established a new sports performance gym, and as we are moving in, our gym got robbed.
Oh,
So our
wow.
gym got robbed. Yeah, it got robbed. My head was all over the place. Couldn't really think straight. I was still trying to perform and train at the same time, and I just kind of lost my train of thought while I was training. So I had a freak injury. I was clean and jerking 370, and as soon as I picked it up completely wrong. So not like a clean, I picked it up like a deadlift, like a mixed grip deadlift. And as soon as I picked it up, it was just gone. But I know from every type of injury, there's always a reason for it. I'm a born again Christian. I know God puts you in places in order to help people. And so I was trying to use my experience in order to help someone else. I knew the time was going to come, and it just so happened after I thought outside the box of how to recover from this injury, I had someone that had a loss of use of their arm. So it was actually an amputee later on down the road. They actually got the surgery, and the doctors told them they would not be able to use any part of that arm, the shoulder, or anything like that. But because of my training and what happened to me, we were able to kind of rehab the individual into becoming a competitive athlete. So all the type of muscle dystrophy, or muscles that weren't working, we got them fired up again. The nerves were working. So I know God had a big role in that,
Yeah.
and I was able to help someone change their life. So I always look forward, any type of experience like that. I know it's a learning experience. I try not to get too emotional, and just kind of go with it. I know so many different athletes go through surgeries and injuries, but that's kind of the thing when you're an athlete. You're pushing your body to different limits. You just gotta know how that injury is gonna set you apart, how you're gonna come back stronger, and at the same time, how you're gonna help everyone else through what you went through.
So what was something that you felt like I guess helped you continue to get back to where you were? I mean, a lot of people, you see athletes that go through traumatic type injuries or any type of psychological issue, and they don't bounce back. I don't know if you watch UFC, but remember what happened to Ronda Rousey? Like, she got beat that one time, and it was like her whole life fell apart, and she struggled to get back in it. So what do you feel like really helped you continue to keep going after going through something like that?
You know, a lot of these injuries, when these injuries occur, it's hugely a big part of it is really psychological. Trying to come back, trying to get back in the same groove, knowing that you're not necessarily the same person you were right before it happened. There's a lot of things racing through any athlete's head when that happens, especially like recently with Dak Prescott. You know, I'm not a Cowboys fan, But just seeing him go through that injury, I knew how it felt, and I felt so bad. I was like, man, I'm praying for this dude. I hope he can actually turn around and come back.
Yeah.
Injuries just suck, man. But a lot of it psychological. I knew I was going through each one of my injuries because I felt like different things were happening, but while different things in my body were injured, I was able to focus on a lot of, I'd say, a lot of different things I didn't normally focus on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I was working on all my weaknesses, basically, which in the long run made me overall stronger. So as of right now, I feel, I would say, the best I've ever felt before. I'm able to work on my weaknesses, different points in my body, make it stronger, and overall, I think I'm making a stronger comeback. But with these, the mindset of these athletes trying to come back, man, what helped me come back was an extensive amount of prayer every single day.
Yeah.
Like, you know I couldn't do it on my own. I need someone else to help me out. And I was like, I need your help. You know, I got to stay focused because that depression is a killer, man. What we actually developed over time was a model for our gym. Our gym takes different fitness disciplines and incorporates them as far as yoga, strength training, strongman, powerlifting, CrossFit, circuit training, and different explosive specifics for professional athletes. We take all these fitness disciplines and put them together. That way you can be the best athlete. But at the same time, a lot of this is psychological. So what we're working through is trying to incorporate what can make you mentally strong. So our model that we actually developed was faith, focus, hard work. And what that means is with anybody, whether they're an athlete or not, you know, everyone has goals and aspirations.
Yeah.
But in order to achieve those goals, you have to have faith. But every single day, no matter what we do, to and from the store, to and from the school, to and from work, all these different obstacles pop up. You know, we get distracted, so we need to stay focused. And on top of that, you know, faith alone is not going to get you to your goals or where you want to be, so you have to still work hard. So before every single workout, I have my athletes, my professional athletes, they write down faith, focus, hard work, so they know when they're in the grind, working out really hard, they can repeat it to themselves and keep that motivation going, whether they're in the gym or outside of the gym. They're having family issues, faith, focus, hard work, and get through this, you know, work hard towards it. So that's part of the psychological aspect of it. But a lot of it, man, honestly, was staying focused, being in prayer. I still try to motivate, encourage athletes. I was still coaching athletes at the same time. Mm-hmm. So seeing their progress helped me stay positive. You know, so it's huge. There's quite a few different aspects of coming back as an athlete. But I think being a coach at the same time, it's probably going to encourage you a little bit more.
Absolutely. So let's talk about it's called CrossFit Golden Titan, right?
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So yeah, so what exactly I guess would you say helped you start that? You know, you've been doing, it was like the powerlifting and you got into CrossFit. I'm guessing at some point you were like, hey, let me start my own place. And you're in, where is it? Surprise, Arizona?
Yeah, right outside of Linda, Phoenix.
Okay. So yeah. So what got you really into deciding to make that step to, hey, let me start CrossFit Golden Titan?
No, we thought about a name that represented power. Actual power athlete. We do a lot of explosive movements. We're huge into athlete development, whether it's youth athletes all the way to professional athletes. And we wanted to embody the characteristics of being the most powerful. Again, we've talked about physical, mental aspect, as well as kind of the spiritual aspect of being focused. And we chose the name Golden Titan. Gold, you know, all I'll go to everything. Everybody knows gold is the gold, you know.
Yeah.
So gold, and then one of my favorite movies was Remember the Titans. And I remember Denzel talking about, the Titans were more powerful than the gods, you know. So I'm like, I always took that in mind with Greek mythology. I thought it was so cool to know that, Titans were big, Titans were powerful, strong. And so we wanted to take that and put it together to establish a program out here. What's interesting about our surrounding areas is we have working class families, and we have less privileged families right in the same areas, 2 different cities right next to each other. And we know, I went to high school out here, and I know we didn't have the same amount of support that a lot of other schools around the valley and the state and other states had. We didn't even have a strength and conditioning program, literally. We didn't even have a class, nothing.
Wow.
We'll be in the gym, and you sign up for this class, and then we'll just be sitting down. So they had no equipment. I had to be my own strength coach back in high school, still made it in college, playing ball and free agency and stuff like that. But what we wanted to do was make sure we had sports performance gym affordable and available to a lot of these less privileged families, families that don't have a lot of money, lower budget, actual hardworking families, working class out here. A lot of these sports performance gyms charge an arm and a leg, even if it's a CrossFit gym. It's anywhere from $150 to $200 a month in some cases.
Yeah.
And on top of that, a sports performance gym could be in the hundreds every single month. Our goal was to make it really, really affordable. We're like, you know what? We want to make sure that we can encourage families to be together, to work out together, to build that family unit, as well as produce athletic capabilities in the families. So we're huge on supporting the family. And we decided to have a rate that was $70 a month, and any other family member that joined was probably $10 to $5 extra on top of that. So we wanted to kind of make sure the finances was not an issue, make it super affordable. And on top of that, other families that really couldn't even afford that, we put them on scholarship. They did a lot of pro bono work, working with the high schools, just try to make sure that our community is strong, and we're helping some of these athletes develop so they got a head start on the future.
That's awesome.
So that was our thing.
Yeah. So is there anything that you feel like sets you apart in that area? Because, I'm assuming that you've got a good bit of people who are probably, they're hearing about you, they know about your name, they know about what you do. And so there's probably people that are just coming straight to you because of who you are. So do you think that there's something that they, are actually grasping strictly from you because of who you are? Some people might have, they say certain people have like a gimmick, that's their thing. But what is your, a specific thing that you feel like you give to people that they don't give anywhere else?
Say straight knowledge bombs, man. Everything that I've been to, incorporating all the different fitness disciplines, that's what we do. I also incorporated or developed, patented my own breathing method, breathing technique while lifting. So that's huge, yeah, really huge. No one tells you how to breathe when you lift. You'll see all these crazy bell videos, people pass out.
Yeah.
But so there's big things that we developed, but it's honestly our personality, involvement with the community. Even being involved with the community on this aspect, I was able to briefly run for city council as well to be more involved that way. So it's just reaching out in different directions, trying to help a lot of different people. Even before that, I was working for the Department of Veteran Affairs, helping veterans and families. So that's just a huge part of what I do, is more of give back, help people as much as I can, while leading by example. So I have all these athletes and different people working out, doing their thing, but I'm still competing. I'm still showing them how to do it. I believe leading by example is the way to go, and I love seeing other leaders do that. You know, I use the example, us being back in high school, playing football, at football practice, running gassers back and forth. And I remember always lining up, looking at the coaches, why are you making us do this and you ain't out here doing it? You know, and I remember vividly always talking like that. And so now that I'm running the program, I'm there with them. I'm in there with them as long as I can until I'm like 80, can't move. You know, so, lead by example.
Oh yeah. They talk about the difference between a boss and a leader is, the leader is right there in the muck with you, helping you and guiding you. And the boss is just, kind of pointing the finger. So I think people definitely appreciate that. Even in like the military, a lot of officers, they don't have to do the same thing that the enlisted people do, but they're in charge. But a lot of people respect, the officers who might have used to been enlisted because they've been through those issues and now they're in charge, but they had been through all the bad things, so they can empathize with all the other people. So is there anything that you feel like you want to accomplish that you haven't accomplished yet? I mean, you've done a lot, man. Like I've seen all the things you've been doing. It's pretty wild. So I mean, you went for the city council. So actually, hold on, before we get to that, how did that go? The city council running?
Oh man, the experience was unbelievable. You learn so much in such a short amount of time. What also made this kind of historical and really strange, I know a lot of people around the nation during these primary elections went through the same thing, but COVID hit. You know, COVID changed everything. You
Yeah.
know, this stuff has never been done before. Shutting down the football games and like shutting down like seasons. Um, you know, NCAA being shut down, people staying home. So when it comes to the politics and people trying to get on the ballot, they had to receive signatures. But because of social distancing guidelines, they couldn't get the signatures. So that was one of my issues in this election. Was as soon as I decided to run, I was like, you know what? There needs to be some changes. I need to get out there and be more involved. I got my packet from the city council. Go ahead and get these signatures to be on the ballot. As soon as they sent me my work, it was like the president addressed everything, the governor addressed it. It was literally the same day. Social distancing guidelines were in place, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So, it was really strange. I was like, well, I said I was going to do this, and I'm going to lead by example. Just like I tell my athletes, finish what you start. I'm going to do it no matter what. So we went out there, still did the whole campaign while we're trying to figure out what's going on with the business. Our business is shut down. We're trying to help out our members, which shout out to all our members that kind of stuck in with us through the uncertainty during this time. They really meant a lot. We got a lot from them as far as support. So that was huge. But during this time, man, it's historic. None of this stuff has happened before. And when I pursued going in with the election, there was so many different opportunities to speak at town hall meetings, virtual town hall meetings. I've worked with a lot of different guys that are running for the county sheriff. So I was blessed with these opportunities to meet all these guys actually running in higher positions, and I was able to learn a lot from them. I was also able to talk a lot about all the different social issues with them, what we can do to kind of change. Most importantly, actually bring encouragement for community unity. That was a lot of my message, and a lot of my platform was community unity. All the business side, business aspects, all these other aspects led to community unity. So it was a multifaceted program that I was going to implement if I were to run or if I were to win the council. Unfortunately, I didn't, but there's always next time, and doing this opened up the doors for me to actually apply for the new zoning commission out here to be more involved with the economic development department as well as the regional chamber of commerce. So I'm still in the mix. Recently joined the Arizona Alliance Ministry Group. So it's a ministry of different businesses, different individuals that actually mentor, or our focus is on mentoring out to a lot of young men, families, to help them grow within the community, to kind of support the community, but become a solid man. So got a lot of different things going on at the same time, encouraging all our athletes, but heavily involved in the community, trying to do our best.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know what to do if I decided to do running for city council and then all that just drops on you like a bombshell. That would have been devastating. But I mean, at least you have some sort of positive insight on how all that works now. I mean, if you
absolutely, I'm encouraging a lot of some of the younger individuals to get out there, actually run for office, local office, higher office. Back in the day, I remember teachers used to tell us, hey, you kids are the future. Well, it just so happens the future is now. So now we're turning over that leaf. It's our turn. So I want to encourage as many people as possible to get out there and do their due diligence in helping their community or represent the community. And now that I've been through the process, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to help people. A lot of people don't know how to do it. I didn't know how to do it, but now I do. So I'm ready to spread the knowledge.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you were doing that, and I was like, man, that's different. And it's just he's a guy that realizes there's change that he wants to see. That's not a lot of people understand to just take that step, and they don't have the courage either to be able to realize, hey, if I want to see some change, if I want to make a difference, I'm just going to go make it. I'm just going to go do that change because I can't just sit around and just hope and pray somebody's going to make the change for you. You kind of have to put into action yourself. So what is something that you haven't done yet that you are thinking about, something that you feel like, hey, that'd be kind of cool?
I've had some offers. I've reached out to quite a few people. I have a couple connections in the major leagues, being a strength coach. So that might be something down the road, as well as, I was actually going to announce this to everyone. What we're going to do, we're actually planning on building or making a family brewery. So we thought that was kind of cool, to do our own thing that way. Another aspect of business we always kind of wanted to do. But I'll keep the details later. That's some top secret important stuff. But on top of that, man, before, I'd say even in college, after I was playing ball, my goal, I come from a military family. Everybody was in the military. I was trying to go into the military, but at the time, they had these really strict rules on tattoos. So when I was trying to go in, I couldn't go in. So I was like, what? I got to serve my country somehow. So I got a job at the Department of Veteran Affairs, kind of similar to a social worker, dealing with all these veterans and their families. But now I was like, I still feel the calling for this. I want to serve my country. So been really looking into the reserve. That way, still kind of do the business aspect, live your life, and then still serve the country. So that might be something coming up. other than running for a higher office. I mean, the sky's the limit, man. You can do whatever you want to do here. That's the good thing about the U.S. You can do anything you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So how old are you?
Right. I mean, let's not talk about age right now. You know, I mean, I still look pretty young, but no, I'm 34, man. So a lot of times I kind of forget how old I am. You know, I'm doing everything that I used to do. I'm being athletic, being active, and then I'm like, dang, all right, look, those years are piling up right now.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure you probably see other people your age or younger or maybe a little older and be like, man, I'm in way better shape than that. But that's, I mean, a lot of people don't, you know, they probably don't even think about that. Because, I mean, when you get, you know, 70, 80 years old, I mean, you're gonna drop off in your physicality, but you're gonna feel great though, because how much, you know, all the stuff that you went through and the good shape that you put your body in. Because, you know, a lot of people, they don't, you know, they probably don't go for walks, they probably don't run around and lift weights and stuff like that. So just being in good health at 34, it helps. It helps in having longevity.
Yeah, we got a lot of older athletes here too, and so we always push making sure that we're doing our dynamic yoga variations. We're always stretching. We're huge into injury preventive maintenance. So we're seeing some of the older athletes, you know, be in really great shape. I'm like, okay, all right, that means I got this. If I keep doing this, I'll be fine, man. I'll be good. You know,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who they talk about just continue just doing what you're doing, you know, just continue going for walks or continue lifting weights and just being consistent. Because if you continue to do that, then your body just gets used to it. And if you stop, your body's like, oh, this is what we're doing. We're going to do nothing. That's okay. So it's definitely beneficial to keep going. So what is your next step in life? You know, I'm sure you've got some sort of plan that you've got coming up. You know, what's that?
got quite a few plans. You know, recently I just got married. I got married within the last year.
Oh yeah,
So,
congrats, man.
so the whole family planning, getting started with that. You know, and just sticking with the family business. Like I said before, there's a lot of different opportunities coming up. Sky's the limit, man. As long as you have the opportunities, you have the funding, you have investors, you keep your networking game strong, reaching out to everyone. You know, you have a good idea, obviously you're going to be able to get it done. So make sure if I feel like I have a good idea, anytime you have a good idea, write it down. Make sure you follow through with it. Just follow through with it. You know, think of urgency when you have these type of ideas.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, man. So it's been amazing talking to you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're a busy guy. Glad you were able to even take this, but I just want to say thank you for, you know, doing what you've been doing, taking the initiative to run for city council and make some changes. I know a lot of people they'll talk about it, but they won't be about it. And you've done exactly what you said. You know, you're trying to lead by example. So it's awesome to see. I don't think people appreciate the fact that, you know, there's people out there like you. You know, some people think that, you know, we're all doomed and nobody's trying to do anything, but it's refreshing to see some people that are, you know, actually out there. So thank you for doing that.
That means a lot. I appreciate you having me on. You know, you gotta stay focused, keep on grinding. I gotta represent the Henderson family strong. You know what it is. So I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna be praying for you and your family. Wishing you all the success. Remember, if you have any questions, anyone else listening has any questions, they can reach me on social media. Instagram, Robo Hercules RX, Facebook and Twitter, Kawika Henderson. Any questions at all, I always respond. I'll reach out back to you guys. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Hopefully we can do another follow-up podcast one of these days when we're not busy.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, man. Thank you for plugging everything. Thank you for taking it, and I guess we'll try it again some other time too.
Sounds good, Jackson. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man. See ya.